Everyone loves Sichuan food, but from down noodles to dry fried green beans, there's one constant ingredient that seems to appear again and again, and that is Yacai. This is one kind of Sichuan preserved vegetables. Sometimes you'll see it in some Chinese supermarkets in the West, but it's not always like there. However, this stuff it's basically always there. And the question about like can I swap this for this? It's probably one of the most frequently asked questions we got on this channel. And the short answer is no. So let's get some facts straight here today and take a peep into the confusing world of Chinese preserved vegetables. Well, it's like not too confusing if you actually use the Chinese names. So that's what we'll be using today and call them by their actual names. First off, let's talk about Yacai. This is Yacai, the preserved vegetables that most Sichuan recipes will call for. The most famous one's from Yibin, and nowadays Yibin Yacai is basically the equivalent when you're talking about Yacai. So traditionally, you will need to soak it and wash it if you are getting the whole stock from a local market in Sichuan. But the packaged stuff did all that steps for you, so you can just use it straight up as it is. Okay, then you may ask, what on earth is this Sichuan preserved vegetables when you look online and it seems to be everywhere? Well, this is ZHACAI, which is something totally different from Yacai. First off, it's made with different kinds of vegetable. It's made using Brassica juncea subspecies ZHACAI, where the stem of the vegetables is eaten. The most famous ZHACAI is from Fulin, Chongqing, and that's basically the ZHACAI you will see outside of China. It's been a export item since very early on, and that's why you will see it everywhere. Besides the vegetable that's used, another difference between ZHACAI and Yacai is that ZHACAI is often served alongside as a crunchy pickle with congee or white rice, and we even eat it as a snack growing up. And Yacai is more of a ingredients that you will use in Sichuan dishes. Texturally, ZHACAI is crunchy and Yacai is soft. Taste-wise, ZHACAI is more savory and sharper, and Yacai is sweeter and softer. You can think of ZHACAI as more of an uplifting tone, while Yacai is more mellow and tuned down. So, in a word, you cannot sub ZHACAI for Yacai. They're just different. But let's go explore some other optionalities. Okay, so let's taste some Yacai and have a baseline. Okay, so Yacai is kind of like really salty and have like a depth from the fermentation. Kind of, I don't know, tastes a little bit like tea leaf almost at the end. All right, moving on. So first up, GANLANCAI. GANLANCAI it's a 酒糟 condiment which is made with kind of cooking down the Chinese white olives with mustard green and then fermented for a little bit but not too long. So let's give it a try. Okay. GANLANCAI is also savory. It's less salty as Yacai. Also got like a very strong umami in it. Is it a sub? It's possible. Next, ZHACAI. ZHACAI is from around like Jiangnan area. It's like a lighter fermented mustard green. Let's give it a try. It got more of a sour note to it. It's closer to suancai, the other very often commonly used fermented mustard green. Is that a possible sub? No. Okay, next up. Suancai. The other commonly seen preserved mustard greens that you will see it everywhere online. Let's give it a try. It's kind of got a even lighter taste to it. It's not very salty, but it's even more sour. So is it a possible sub? No. Palate cleansing. Sup, dude? Next up, Mei Tai. Mei Tai is another kind of preserved vegetables that's very common, kind of like throughout South China. You will see it in Guangdong Cantonese cuisine, also in Zhejiang, also in Jiangnan, and it's also made with a kind of a smaller mustard green. So let's give it a try. It's very salty. It also got that fermented mustard green kind of like depth to it. I will say it's a possible sub. It's not exactly the same as Yacai, but it's definitely possible. It falls into the same category. Very salty though. Okay, next, 大头菜. 大头菜 is another preserved mustard green. That's often seen also kind of like throughout China. But the thing is that the vegetables used is different. It's more of the turnip. So let's try the leaves that may be closer. So 大头菜 is kind of like savory and got like light umami aftertaste, and there's like some sweetness that comes back after you chill a little bit. The leaves is kind of a little bit similar to Yacai, so I would say the leaf itself, it's a possible sub. Okay. Next up, dongcai, Tianjin preserved vegetables. It's also something that's very similar to 大头菜, but it's a specialty from Tianjin, and it also got garlic and 5 spice in it. So the seasoning is a little bit different. And now let's give it a try. Sodium overdose. So, Tianjin dongcai is also really salty. You can actually see the salt grains among it. It's kind of similar to 大头菜, but it's like way saltier. Is it a possible sub? I don't really think it's a possible sub. It's just kind of different. It's made with turnip. Turnip, probably. I'll need to double check. If I'm wrong, we'll tell you in the notes. Okay, one last candidate. This is the Myanmar lapet. Reason why we chose this is like someone under, I believe it's the Yibin burning noodles. They commented they subbed the Yacai with this and with a very good result, and it's very tasty. So we thought, why not give it a try? So here we go. So lapet, in case you don't know, I just looked it up on Wikipedia last night. It's fermented tea leaves. It's made a little bit different than other Chinese preserved vegetables. It's steamed and then ferment. And they also have like a 3-day fermentation, I believe. And I never tried it. Let's give it a go. Interesting and tasty. First of all, it tastes really good. It got a nice depth of from fermentation, and it got a slight sour note to it. Also some very slight bitterness, and then some like freshness because it's tea leaves, I believe. It's also spicy because they will add chilies to it, I believe. Is it a possible sub? I don't know. It's different, but it will be good. I I think it will be good. Yes, I believe that commenter. Sorry, forgot your name. But I believe it will actually be good and tasty if you sub that with Yacai. It will be different, but it will be good. All right, in conclusion, personally, I think Mei Cai is the closest. It's still different, but kind of close enough. So if you're getting Mei Tai, remember to soak it and then squeeze it and then finally mince it to get the similar texture you would get from the packaged stuff.
And quick addition, this is Chris from the future. I am editing this video right now. There is another important point that we forgot to talk about, which is that there's two types of Mei Tsai. The kind of Mei Tsai that you usually get in the West is a completely sun-dried one. And that kind of Mei Tsai, you're gonna need to also reconstitute before using. Cold water, a couple hours should do the trick.
And the second up, personally, I think it's the leaves from Datou Cai. It kind of got that similar fermented mustard greenness to it. Right. So also finely mince it if you can get it, but I really don't think you can get it. It's really local. Third up, I think it's GANLANCAI. It's a little bit different, but also have the same kind of umami savory hits, so you can use it in a pinch. So right, after tasting all this and compare it to Yacai, I think Yacai, when it's like in its uniqueness, it has some kind of like floral flavor. So I think if you are using something else trying to sub it, in order to recreate that kind of floral flavor, you can use like toasted Sichuan peppercorn in the smallest pinch to add that kind of like nice floralness back to it. So right, I hope this comparative study can help you, and I hope you enjoyed this taste test. And of course, a big thank you for everyone that's supporting us on Patreon, and don't forget to subscribe for more Chinese cooking videos.